Nigeria is facing a potential fuel scarcity crisis as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, threatens to embark on a nationwide strike over unpaid bridging claims amounting to 100 billion naira. IPMAN has given the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority a 7-day ultimatum to clear the outstanding bridging claims. If the NMDPRA fails to make the payment within the stipulated time, marketers will halt the loading and distribution of petroleum products nationwide. The unpaid claims have led to the grounding of 9 northern depots, including Jos, Gusau, Mina, Suleja, Kaduna, Kano, Gombe, Yola, and Maiduguri. IPMAN claims that the NMDPRA's failure to pay the bridging claims has resulted in the death of some of its members, closure of businesses, retrenchment of staff, and takeover of business premises by commercial banks. The association also accused the NMDPRA of imposing abnormal levies, including a 5% commission on the sale of petrol stations, which IPMAN considers unconstitutional and anti-developmental. Well, joining me to speak on this at this time is my guest, who of course joins virtually, and I'm talking about Mr. Billy. Mr. Billy Gilly-Harry is the president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. Thank you for your time.
So much for having me. Good evening, Nigeria.
Okay, so let me just put it out to you straight. Should Nigerians brace up for fuel scarcity?
Well, PETROAN sympathize with our sister organizations. These debts are owed across the board. All stakeholders in the industry have a fair share of this debt. And all PETROAN can say at this time is that we are trying to intervene to ensure that we have everybody on the same table and discuss how to resolve the matter. It's a very dire situation. We sympathize with our colleagues and our friends across the association that are affected by this. However, PETROAN took a very costly look at it and advised that a downing of tools at this time may not be in our best interest as Nigerians, and the best way to go about it would be to seek for dialogue immediately with NMDPRA and all the stakeholders so that we can resolve this. I recall that a couple of, about 4 weeks ago, the Petroleum Industry Stakeholders Forum was established under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of Petroleum, Senator Dr. Lubobri, and he's doing a very good job. I believe that his quick intervention of the NMDPRA boss, and every one stakeholder, including those who are affected, should be able to solve the problem. So if this becomes what will play out, we believe that there will be no need to Nigerians to panic. But it's a very urgent matter, and we need to all collectively solve it.
I mean, talking about the urgency of this matter, I would like to ask you to give us a bit of an overview of what the concerns are. I mean, there are claims as regards unpaid, of course, monies, which of course, a major concern here. And there's also the issue of some levy being imposed on some of these members. Can you just give us an overview of what these issues are?
Well, these issues have been there for a very long while, and that is why as a very responsible organization, PETROAN sues for peace and sues for urgent intervention and ensure that our members are not also down to. The reason is simple: Nigerians will bear the brunt, and we need to always look at what will happen to Nigerians at the end of the day. These debts have been owed for quite a long time, and if I recall, our sister organizations have consistently clamored and argued, that this money should be paid. But I think all that is required is for these payments to be authenticated and payment, immediately disbursed, so that we do not lose our members, our tankers, our trucks, our retail outlets, because at the end of the day, these monies are impacting very negatively on the business because most of these funds were monies that were owed to financial institutions. And if you look at the length of time that it has been owed, it's quite, traumatic and very worrying. But be that as it may, we still sue for peace. We sue for urgent intervention by the Honourable Minister and also the NMDPRA leadership and also the stakeholders across the board so that we can jointly resolve this issue and ensure that our members are all intact and doing business for the benefit of Nigerians.
Okay, let's also talk about the leadership of the NMDPRA. How would you describe, relationship of associations like yours with this agency of government? Because there's also concerns being raised as regards some sort of payment, 5% commission or so, which they consider unconstitutional and anti-developmental. Would you say it's cordial?
Well, I would say that the relationship PETROAN has with all the regulatory authorities is very cordial. One of the reasons is that we try to deepen the discussion. We do not wake up and just pick one subject. For instance, some of all these charges that are being made on retail outlets, marketers, tanker drivers, and whatever, PETROAN has consistently reviewed those conditions and informed the relevant authorities as to how it impacts negatively on our business. And I believe that with the stakeholder forum now established, those are issues that we can commonly discuss at the stakeholder forum and resolve. And I believe that the Honourable Minister of Petroleum Oil, Senator Maiduguri, Hurricane, is more than able. The ace of NMDPRA, Engineer Farouk, and his team are able and willing. I believe we just need to let them know how this will affect us and the urgency that is required, and we can expect, that there will be immediate response. Why do I feel so? NMDPRA in the last 1 year plus have always done stakeholder meetings to be able to determine what their policies will be. Incidentally, most of these policy parties were not attended fully by those who are relevant in giving reviews and authorizing associations focus and view. So to that extent, I would say that the regulatory authorities are friendly and they are focused on growing our businesses. But however, there are policies that they have made that may not be beneficial to us. And I think the best thing to do is to always raise this subject very clearly, discuss them deeply, and resolve them. Okay. And also now we have the Petroleum Industry Stakeholders Forum, headed by no less than a Honourable Minister of Petroleum that is very critically positioned to ensure that the industry is stable at all times. So I believe that we can take that route and resolve the matter. And that's why we have, resorted to reaching out to the authorities, to the ministry, and even to stakeholders to sue for peace and ask for speedy response in the dialogue that is required to resolve the matter. And I believe that the industry leaders will listen to that.
Okay, I'm going to stay on the issue of, you said there are some policies or frameworks that, you are not comfortable with, even as an association. And that will lead me to the question of the ease of doing business. How easy is it for your, members of your association to conduct business? And what are these specific bottlenecks that you feel needs to be addressed urgently for members of your association, to be able to carry out their businesses, hitch-free? Be specific, sir.
Well, one of those things will be the cost of our renewal licenses, which we have effectively communicated to the authority prior to the formation of the petroleum industry stakeholders. These other charges now that our sister organization is also talking about are issues that we have also deeply analyzed and shown how it affects business. And to my knowledge, the NMDPRA leadership has always reached out to us to be able to go further in discussing how this can be done. I mean, the law is made, for man. Man is not made for the law. So at all times, once the right atmosphere and the right frameworks are built, we should at all times be able to get the authorities to listen to us. These costs, they are very enormous and they are difficult for us to meet because size of businesses we do not tell that kind of story as to how much money we are going to spend to renew our licenses, to make sure that our facilities are up and running. And we intend to analyze them properly again and present them to the authorities so we can be able to discuss. And like I said, opportunities have been given to us to sit down and analyze this consistently. So the authority is doing well, except that we need more speed. And I believe that I will get at this time going forward.
All right. Just, of course, to join this conversation, I'll be bringing on the National Publicity Secretary of IPMAN. That's Ukadike Chinedu. He joins virtually also. Mr. Ukadike, it's great to have you join us. Let me start by asking you that what are the concerns of IPMAN? Should Nigerians brace up for another period of fuel scarcity?
Yeah, well, I don't think that kind of idea or notion should come up now that we have over 600 million liters of PMS in Dangote's tank farm waiting.
Mr. Ukadike, okay. We are having a bit of connectivity issues with you. We, of course, will get back to you once we can in terms of connectivity, but let me go back to Mr. Gilly-Harry, who, of course, is the president of PETROAN. He joins virtually from Rivers. Thank you for staying with me. Now, let's also talk about the issue of pricing of petroleum products. I mean, Nigerians are really clamoring that, even though we see a sort of consistent drop in these prices, they still want it to go lower. I mean, what will it take? I mean, within your capacity as an organization for prices of this petrol to really come down to maybe what it was before?
I don't know if you're buying bread for breakfast. If you did buy bread for breakfast by July last year, I'm sure that in February this year, you are seeing quite an enormous hike in price. And I'm also very sure that bakers and the bakeries will not reduce their cost just because you said you wanted bread to be sold at 150 naira. The thing is that the refineries are working hard to refine products, and we as an association, we are very proud of all of them. We're very proud of Aradel. It's been a great effort. We're proud of Dangote Refinery for Mongo's, inroad into this business globally. We are very proud of our traditional partners, NNPC, doing so well in producing refined products in country. And all of this are based on economic factors, price ranges that the input levels will determine. And these input levels for expenses is also what will be computed for prices to be fixed when you are selling at your ex-depot rate. So there is just no way we're going to be thinking that petroleum product will just drop to 200 naira a liter or 400 naira a liter. But gradually you can see that the economic forces at play are gradually whittling. Dangote just reduced PMS, price today to 825 naira. And this was 1,000 something prior to now. So gradually, and like we predicted, prices will go up and then they will come down. They will come down and they will go down. And then they will go up and then they will go up. It depends on what the economic factors, say at the particular
I'm sorry,
time.
I'm still going to stay with you on
So that
this.
is what it is.
Okay, I'm still going to stay with you on this because, I mean, for viewers watching at home, the excuse before used to be, oh, the refining wasn't done and the country was taken out, and then the cost of bringing it in, all of that logistics culminate into what we have at the filling station in terms of the pump price. But right now, all of that is done within the country. I mean, there are about 3 to 4 local refineries functional. We have that of the Port Harcourt, the Warri, and Dangote refinery, which are operational. And one would expect that since all of that is done locally, the cost, if at all, of production should drop, and then maybe locally it should even be more affordable. But to the surprise of many Nigerians, it seems even importing it before seems to be a cheaper alternative than even having us produce it locally. The crude is here, the refining is here. So can you help us really, maybe specifically, understand what these factors, are, for the benefit of people watching?
These factors are one, cost of crude oil, cost of production, cost of power, cost of additives, cost of labor, and different kinds of costs that don't meet the eye. Now, it is possible that PMS that's produced somewhere in Kazakhstan that is not having a market that can find its way down to the west coast of Africa can sell cheaper. But what about the quality? So you also have to check all of those things. The locally produced ones are being monitored and regulated very effectively. So I believe that these are just beginning days. Dangote refinery has just come on stream. You can still count it in a matter of weeks. NMPC has come on stream in a matter of weeks. And we have seen already about 3 or 5 price changes and price drops. So Nigerians are in for a good time. But like I said, it's going to be dependent on the cost of production, the input cost, and the cost of distribution.
All right. Let me leave you for a moment, Mr. Gilly-Harry, and let me bring in Mr. Ukadike Chinedu. I think we have some sort of connection with him now. Thank you for staying on. I asked you before we lost you. I said, should Nigerians brace up for fuel scarcity?
I think the issue of fuel scarcity has been taken care of. Dangote as of today have over 600 million liters of petroleum products, especially PMS, stored in his tank. And the NMPC refinery is upcoming. Another refinery, Watersmith, all these other local refineries are also trying their best. I'm also hearing that Bua is also on the way. So we're not talking about the issue of scarcity. The competition is on, and the regulation has taken place. And the NMDPRA also, in their magnanimity, also give importation license to those who can also be able to source this petroleum product, so that we don't have mono source of supply of petroleum products that will checkmate the issue of unwarranted increase in price and decrease in price and holding and all the rest of them.
All right. So what exactly are the concerns? So what is the concern of IPMAN right now? Because we understand that your organization or your association has some reservations which border around payments of some monies and some charges being levied on your members.
Well, it's a concern that was raised by the chairman of IPMAN in all the 21 depots. This concern has been lingering for a very long period of time. This issue was inherited by NMDPRA. This money is being owed by PEF, Petroleum Equalization Fund. This Petroleum Equalization Fund could not be able to pay this money to marketers. Over 300 billion naira they were owing before it was wind up by Mr. President, after he made one of the historic statements that subsidy is gone and there was no more subsidy. And we are going to implement pure deregulation. And that is where we are now. So this money was accrued by PEF. They're going to be able to sort out some of these funds was accrued by marketers who has transported their petroleum products now laying for their bridging claims. And there was a little trips of handing over from Petroleum Equalization Fund to NMDPRA, who inherited both assets and liability of PEF. And it becomes very, very unfortunate that PEF couldn't be able to sort out this bill. And marketers have been clamoring for a very long period of time that this bill ought to be sorted out so that they can go back to the business. You have seen the huge amount of money that marketers are using to buy petroleum products these days. The maintenance costs and all the rest of them, the roads are very, very bad. Losses every blessed day. And this money we are talking about is bank money. Interest rates is going up every percent. So we are concerned. And after a very, very serious and district meeting with the minister, who assures us that the NMDPRA, this new body, will be able to back up some of those things that the PEF have abandoned and readdress it. And the NMDPRA started readdressing it. But what marketers we are looking at is that this money is supposed to be paid out outrightly. But there are some issues that this NMDPRA is just a warehouse. It's just a special purpose vehicle where that be able to get this money from IPMAN and member members, and so they can be able to pay off this pledging claim. So as they get that, they can also pay. And I think they have been paying. But what marketers are not demanding is that we should clear out this money. Federal government is coming and vote enough money to clear out this thing so that we will not face our business. Nobody is talking about bridging claims anymore. When we buy our products, we'll add our transport and we'll transport it to where it's supposed to be. So that is the primary issue in this business. Nothing more, nothing else. Okay,
so is it okay to say that your relationship between your organization, your association, that's IPMAN, and the NMDPRA, is it frosty or is it smooth?
Our relationship is always cordial because the NMDPRA is the policeman of the industry. And that is what the act states. And why can you now start fighting NMDPRA? No. But these are the people that we can complain to NMDPRA that our money is still there. And they also have to, as a policeman of the industry, they also have to find a way to ensure that this money is being paid to marketers. And that is why we are complaining. They are the policeman of the industry. And if you have anything, maybe your neighbor is not treating you well or something like that, you have to complain to the police.
How about the 5%? How about the 5% commission that some of your members consider unconstitutional being levied?
It is not 5%. It is 1%. That is the only way the NMDPRA, because now government have designed all these authorities so that they can also be able to generate funds on their own and manage themselves. You know, they are no longer driven by government funds. And this thing is a provision in the PIA Act, in the Petroleum Industry Act. It is a provision. It is there already. It's a law. And we are not challenging that law. But the issue is that when this law was enacted, I think the independent marketers were in a very good position to be able to show their concerns where it's necessary. But now that we're not together, we are one, and we have sorted out all our problems. We're also raising issues that this percentage can inflate the price of petroleum products. What we want to do is to ensure that we can be able to deliver these petroleum products as the cost we get it, and also our little logistics for transportation and our service charge. We independent marketers, we are service oriented. So we don't have any issue with the NMDPRA at all. The only thing is that whatever problem we have, whatever issues we raise, whatever concern, we must take it to the NMDPRA. That is the policeman of the industry.
All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. Of course, Gilly-Harry, the president of PETROAN, joining virtually from Rivers State, and also Mr. Ukadike Chinedu, the National Publicity Secretary of IPMAN, also joining virtually from Abuja. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time.